Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is Dawn, and welcome to another mystery envelope from the Inspiration Collaboration Design Team. I sent out the mystery envelope this month to everyone, and these are the supplies that they got. I'll talk about them more in a second. And my rules for this month are that this month's mystery envelope challenge is all about the good old red, white, and blue. Create a layout or card with a patriotic Americana theme, such as Independence Day, fireworks, picnics, reunions, military, etc. Your choice. And I've enclosed some papers from Hello Darlin, along with some enamel stars, and you can use anything that you want from your stash. Okay, so these are the pictures that I'm going to scrapbook, and usually on the 4th of July, I try to snap one or two pictures, but as it's dark out when the action happens, usually I just put my camera away and take mental pictures. So these are a variety of pictures from a number of different years, and I'm going to put them all on one layout. So these are the papers that I'm going to use. I've got the Hello Darlin papers, and then these are the gold design papers. It was a pack of 6 different designs with gold foil, and they're all retired from Close to My Heart. And then this is my base. So I'm going to use sapphire as my base and kind of lay my pictures out like this. So I've printed them all in 3x4, and I think I want to have like a band of red across the center of the page on both sides. So I lucked out, and this scrap is longer than 8 inches. So I'm going to cut 2 strips at 4 inches, and they'll go across the middle of the page. And then I'll set up my pictures all around. So it's got a nice pop of red, and there's white stars on this paper. Okay. So I'll be switching the pictures around in a second. We'll switch up the fireworks shots. And then that picture, my husband had the dog in his lap, and she was sticking her tongue out, and then he stuck his tongue out and she didn't. So I happened to snap those two. We were at a barbecue at a friend's house. And then I'm going to use this piece of gold foiling paper, and I'm going to trim off a 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to trim around the design, and I'm going to cut 4 strips. And so they will border that red pattern paper. And then I decided not to use the striped gold foil piece because this is striped. So I'm going to cut 3/4 inch, and they will go underneath my photos, just for a little pop of red, white, and blue. And I'll do the same thing for the right page, and they will kind of mirror each other. And that's basically how I'm going to set things up. I'll add the stripes. And then I'll be adding embellishments down that center block. Okay, so I have a number of years here, starting with 2017. And that was the one up in the top right on that left panel. And then off camera, I hot foiled a whole bunch of these Lawn Fawn fireworks images, and they have coordinating dies. So I did all this off camera. I did it on the light side of sapphire with gold foil. And then I've also die cut a bunch of foil images. So I'm going to layer them up. The foiling was quite fine, and I wanted a little extra pop of shine. So I'm going to layer them, and I'll scatter all of those around. So I'm kind of creating a background paper here. of fireworks bursting in the sky. So we'll get them all kind of scattered around. And now let's do some stamping. So I'm going to create a lot of my embellishments here. So this stamp set, it's a really old one. It's called Home of the Brave. And then this one has that Let's Celebrate image, and it's called Kaboom. It's a really old stamp of the month. And then I'm going to use here and there. It has a bunch of arrows and some sentiments, but also blank arrows to write in my years. And I'll be labeling my pictures. Okay, so let's stamp out Lady Liberty. So I have some Glacier ink, and I'm going to stamp her on some white daisy. And I didn't have quite the right color to get that patina look. So what I'm going to do is bring in some ink and then ink her up again and stamp over that. So it kind of gives a age-distressed look and a little more dimension with the two colors. I think it looks pretty cool. So I like that. And we'll get cleaned up. And we'll use the Misty for my sentiment. So I'm going to bring in this Let's Celebrate and another piece of white daisy. And I'll be fussy cutting around this one. And I'm going to bring in Stampinup color. This is Real Red. And go ahead and ink that up and stamp it out. Got a little crazy there with the ink. So I'll get it cleaned up before I make my stamped image. And there we go. Okay, so I thought I needed some fireworks around Lady Liberty. So on the stamp set, I've got these fireworks bursts, and I'm going to bring in some crushed curry, and I'm going to do some second gen stamping so that it's not quite as bright. So I've got some scratch paper here. I just want to see what it looks like, and I like it. So I just want some nice subtle bursts around her. So I'm just looking at where I'm going to place the stamp, and we'll go ahead and ink it up and then stamp it off. And then if you huff on the block, just breathe, it re-moistens the ink, and then take it to your project. So I'm going to do that in 2 different places. And then I have this die. It's from the Nested Essentials die set, and it's the largest one, and it has stitching or dots around the edges. And so I die cut Lady Liberty using that die, and then off camera I fussy cut my sentiment there. And now we can do a little more stamping. I want to create the US flag. So this is a really cool stamp. So one stamp is the stripes. So we'll go ahead and figure out the placement, and there is a flagpole, so I'm going to stamp towards the top. And then the next stamp, this is in Real Red. We'll get it cleaned up real quick, and then the next stamp is the stars. And I'm going to stamp that in Night of Navy. It's really cool how this stamp looks almost 3-dimensional with the flag blowing in the breeze. So we'll add the stars, and then we can add the flagpole. And then off camera, I'll fussy cut it. And it was pretty easy to fussy cut. I think this set was made long before before Close to My Heart started selling thin cuts. So, okay, so we'll get that inked up in Mink, and then we'll stamp that out. I think this one looks so cool. Okay. All right, now off camera, I have stamped and die cut and done a little journaling. This is a stamp set called Looking Forward, and it has that coordinating thin cut that makes it look like notebook paper. And then off camera, I stamped and die cut all of my little arrows from here and there. And then I have cut out from the carrier sheet several of these stickers that are from Hello Darlin. And not sure exactly what I want to use, but I like to mess around with them before I stick them. So before I commit, I can kind of play with them when they're still cut out from the carrier sheet like that. Okay, so I think I have all of my different elements that I want to put on my layout. And off camera, I've stuck down everything in the background along with my photos. So now I'm just playing with all these little bits and just kind of moving them around and deciding the placement of where I want to put everything. And you'll just see me moving things around. So the picture up on the left on that page of my husband and I, we were at a park in the neighborhood that does a big show every year if it's not too dry out and there aren't any fire restrictions. And that year we were lucky they were able to do the show, and that's the two of us just waiting in the park, sitting on a blanket and just waiting for it to get dark for the show to start. And then in the lower left, that was in 2018, I did a 4-mile run on the morning of July 4th. And so at the end of the race, after you get your medal, you can get your picture taken with Uncle Sam. So yeah, that was a fun day. It was very, very hot, I remember. But yeah, it was a good race, and it benefited the Denver Fire Department. And then some fireworks shots, and then, like I talked about before, with my husband and the dog, we were at a friend's barbecue, and they did poppers in the streets when it got dark out. So, fun times. What do you guys like to do for the 4th of July? Do you have a family reunion? Do you have a picnic? Leave a comment. Let me know what kind of traditions you like to do for the holiday. This year, I had company, and last week's scrapbook page, I scrapbooked about it, and then they left town, and unfortunately my husband wasn't feeling very well on the 4th, and so we just stayed home with the dogs, and it worked out because our basement, we can go down there and watch a movie, and you can't really hear all of the poppers, and so sometimes the dogs get a little anxious from all the booms and pops, and so down there they couldn't hear anything, so everyone was happy. Some holidays you just want to chill and not do a ton of stuff. So I'm just kind of playing around with all of my different elements and figuring things out. I know I have quite a bit on this page. It's a little more cluttered than I'm used to, but just wanted to do some fun things and just be able to put all of these photos from multiple years on one page. We're getting there. Okay, so off camera, I've adhered everything. Also the fireworks images at the top of the page. No, wait, I haven't done those yet. I'll do those off camera. And then I thought this Lady Liberty image, it just needed a little more definition. So I am inking just around the edges to leave a fine line of Knight of Navy all around, just to get it to pop a little bit more in that spot. Okay, so now everything is adhered, and I can add some of these enamel stars. So I've also got some of these star sequins that are from Stars and Sparklers, I believe. It was from year before last, the 4th of July collection. I think that was the name of it. I'll confirm and list it in the description below. Of course, all of these are retired products, but dig through your stash and see what you have, and As you can see, most of my embellishments here are stamped out, and I created them, so you can easily go through your stash, see what you have, and just pull some images and red, white, and blue papers. So we'll just scatter a whole bunch of these white stars around, and then we'll put a couple of these star sequins down. So I will put my still shots of this layout on my Facebook page, and you'll see the URL pop up at the bottom of the screen, and also I'll put a link in the description below. So hop on over there and you can see some close-ups and still shots. And make sure you click on the mystery envelope playlist so that you can see the other design team layouts using these supplies. We all got the same supplies, so I'm curious to see what the rest of the team did with the same thing. So here I'll pull them a little closer to the camera, and like I said, you can go over to my Facebook page and see close-up still shots. I appreciate you watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button, and please leave a thumbs up or a comment. I'd sure appreciate it. Thank you.